you will tell your grandchildren you were here tonight. Thank you. We still have a few more wonderful people to talk to the topic of impeachment with us. This is Jessica Craven. She's like you, except that she is an indivisible leader and an activist. And that's what's happened to us the last 3 years and to you. This is Jessica Craven from Indivisible.
Hi, everybody. Oh, how beautiful you look out there tonight. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. I'm going to keep this brief. We've heard from so many remarkable people, actresses, singers, statesmen and stateswomen, elected representatives. I am simply an activist, like most of you out there. What I do is I show up. I have good boots, and I have a loud voice. And that is a large part of what is going to keep our democracy going. And so thank you for yours. So I come here tonight as an activist, but also as a mother. This is my daughter. She's behind me. She was going to hold the light up here, but she's just sitting down. She had a sign earlier that said, oh, hi, impeach the orange Muppet, so that was good. Woo! But I come here as a proud door knocker, a phone caller, a text banker, a postcard writer, a resist bot sender, an action amplifier, and a general pain in the ass to my elected representatives. Yeah! I suggest you be one as well. I come here as someone who quit her job to do the resistance full-time 3 years ago, and I have never looked back. Because in Trump's rise, I found a deeper love of my country than I knew I could have. A country that I embarrassingly had sort of taken for granted. I realized almost too late, like so many of us have, that a democracy, like a garden, can wither and die if not fed and nourished and tended to. I will never forget again, and neither, I'm guessing, will any of us here. Yeah! So I come here tonight as a patriot, as someone who knows in her very bones that what we're facing is a critical juncture in the history of our country. And it's the moment where we leave everything on the field or we lose the game. And I'm not talking about party politics. I'm not talking about losing an election. I'm talking about losing our democracy. We're very close. This is not a dress rehearsal. We won't get a do-over. We're either standing on the front lines saying this is not okay, or we're going to let our country slip away. I won't do that, and neither should you. I am a mom, I love my kid, and I want to see her growing up in a democracy, in a country in which every citizen has a vote and a voice, a country in which we can more or less trust that our elected officials are putting our welfare as Americans above their own, personally. And I'm going to repeat that. Our elected officials should be putting our welfare as Americans above themselves. Yeah! Above their personal gain, above their personal ambitions, above their greed, above it all. And right now, that is clearly not the case. So we will fight for the right to live in a democracy and for the right to duly elect, through the will of we the people, a president and not a king. So I have a message for Donald Trump and for his GOP toadies, men and women so afraid of losing their personal wealth and power that they're willing to sacrifice their very country to stay in his favor. And here's the message. A president is not a king. A president is an elected official, and he can and should be removed from power when he allows corruption, greed, and self-serving motives to guide his actions.
Yeah!
So I call on you tonight, do not give up this fight. Do not give in to despair, and don't give in to apathy. Remember that hope is an action. Never forget that this is a fight that our grandchildren will either thank us for waging or curse us for skipping.
That's right!
I offer you my hand, and I offer you these very worn out boots, which are the same ones I wore at the first Women's March right here, and in about 25 marches and protests since. I offer all of myself to this effort because that's what patriots do. And I won't stop until we have our country back, and I hope you won't either. Thank you.
Yeah! Woo! Impeach and remove! Impeach and remove!
How y'all
Impeach
doing?
and remove!